Coming into my hometown. Haven't been here in a pretty long time. Unfortunately, a close friend of the family, longtime friend of the family, passed away, Mr. Bruce Collins. He was also a former employer of mine. I worked on his farm when I was just a kid up through my younger and mid-teenage years. And I probably haven't seen him in a decade or so. But coming back into town to pay my respects to his wife, Sandy, and their family. Yeah. We'll see how this goes.
It was so nice seeing you today. I'm glad he could make it red.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed this for the world. Bruce was a great guy and a friend of the family my entire life. I sure learned a lot from him back in the day. A lot about life and hard work, among other things.
Bruce always thought really highly of you. He would have been glad that you made it. How have you been? Your folks had told me that you were a manager a few times over.
I was, or am. I don't know. The company I'm working for is going out of business, and even though that I'm going to be let go when the plant shuts down, I told them I'd oversee everything until the very end, so I'm planning on moving back to town here in a couple of months, kind of get my affairs in order while I look for work. I've been looking, but the job market's just pretty stale right now.
I'm sorry to hear that. Glad to hear that you'll be back in town for a while. But I'm sorry that your current job just isn't working out for you.
Thanks, Andy. I'm sure something will come along. Hey, how are things up at the farm? I haven't been up there in at least a decade.
It's going pretty well, other than the obvious. But not too bad. I have a feeling that things are going to get a little rough now that Bruce is gone. See, there isn't really anyone to take care of things other than myself, and I just can't do everything by myself, Hey, you wouldn't want to come back and work on the farm again, would you? Once you're back in town? I don't know, crazy idea, just have a thought that just popped in my head.
Well, to be honest, I'd have to think about it. I appreciate the offer, that's for sure. Can we discuss this, maybe at a later date? I'm sure you still have a lot of things to get done today, and I don't want to take up all your time. This is really a day of mourning for you and your family.
No, I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw this on you all at once. This crazy idea just popped in my head here, right at this moment.
Hey, no problem at all, Sandy. I just need a little time to think about it, that's all. How about I give you a call in a couple of days when things settle down here?
That sounds great. We'll talk soon.
Oh, hey, before I go, it was good to see your kids here. I probably haven't seen them in 12, 13 years at least. How have they been?
Well, to be honest, I haven't seen the boys in person in the last 4 years or so. Kelly is around just a little bit more, only because she's local. Things between us haven't changed since back then.
Yeah, I get it. Understood. Well, Sandy, I gotta get going. I'm really glad we could catch up. This was definitely long overdue. I wish this was under different circumstances, of course, but nonetheless, it was great to see you. I'm sorry for your loss. Truly. Bruce is going to be missed by everybody. But I'm going to head out, and I'll call you in a couple of days.
That sounds great, Red. I'll be waiting for your call. Hello?
Hey, Sandy. It's Red.
Hey, Red. Sorry. I didn't recognize the phone number.
No worries. Hey, how serious were you about me working up on the farm when I get back in town?
Was dead serious. Why? Are you considering it?
I am considering it. Haven't completely made up my mind yet, but I've always loved you guys' farm, and I'd love to help out if I could. Hate to see things go downhill, just because of lack of help.
I'm glad to hear that you're considering it. Hey, where are you going to stay when you move back? Are you moving back in with your folks for a while?
No. I already have an apartment lined up for when I get back. Why?
Well, as you know, the old farmhouse is pretty big with 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, right? So I was wondering if you would be interested in living with me at the farm. Before you say no, I understand it sounds a little strange, but hear me out. I'd like you to be the farm manager up here. You know, take care of finances, decisions, and what better way to do that than if you're on the farm all the time? It would save you rent money and make it easier for you to keep an eye on things if you were right here.
Well, that's a tough one, Sandy. Really. I appreciate the offer, but what would people say? Especially after Bruce just passed away.
Oh, sweetheart. I'm an old lady in my 60s. You're a young man in your 30s. I don't think anyone's going to suspect anything like that. Sure, people might talk, but they've been talking about me and Bruce for 45 years.
Yeah, you're probably right, Sandy. I'm sure I don't have anything to worry about. Hey, my deposit isn't due for the new apartment for a couple of weeks, so I still have plenty of time to decide. I'll let you know either way here in the next week or so. Are you going to be all right for the next month and a half? Is there anybody, helping out around the farm right now?
There is a young man named Andy from town that comes out and helps. Feeds cows and is planning on doing some field work when the time comes. He's a little simple-minded, but still a good kid. Do you remember Kenny, the milkman?
Oh, yeah. Is Kenny still picking up milk from the farm?
He sure is. He said that he would help out on the weekends when he can. And he was such good friends with Bruce that I think he feels like he owes it to him.
Well, I can't wait to see old Kenny again. But hey, listen, I've got to run. I'll get a hold of you by the end of the week with my decision. Either way.
Thanks, Red. I appreciate what you're doing for me.
It's the least I could do, Sandy. We'll talk soon. Bye for now. Well, spring is here. Everything's starting to look a little greener. And everything we've got is in the trailer behind the truck. Gonna go get moved into Sandy's. Still seems a little crazy, but honestly, she made some pretty good points about me staying right at the farm. So that's what we're going to do. Sandy's actually out of town visiting her sister. So we kind of got the place to ourselves, get things moved into the house. She mailed me a spare key about a week ago. We're just pulling up now. Kind of get a look around and see what we're going to be dealing with here. That's the old 3020. I'd recognize that tractor anywhere. I've got so many hours field work on that when I was a kid. I'll get this trailer backed up into place and we'll take a look around the farm. Yeah, it should work. Not too much changed. I remember the old 710. Looking a little worse for wear. Here's a big horsepower right here. About 130 horse, 4320. Yeah, it was a big boy. I wonder what is wrong with the 3020. This, man, this tractor used to run so much. It looks like it hasn't moved in quite a while. See what's up here in the shop before we check out the barn. Actually helped Bruce build this shop, probably 15 years ago. It's right about the time when I quit working here. Now what is this? 4955? Now this has got to be some serious horsepower. This was definitely not here the last time I was here. Not a new tractor, obviously. Actually looks pretty worse for wear. But it's definitely a new addition since I've been on the farm. Yeah, I got the old Chevy, 71. Had that for a long time. Always took real good care of it. Looks like we got some hay bales stacked up in here. An old chopper. A lot of space in here for the amount of equipment that's just sitting outside. I'll go check out the barn here. That's right. I don't think you can open that door from the outside. Well, somebody's been cleaning out the manure. There's quite a bit in here. I've never seen this thing full. I mean, that would just be ridiculous, but quite a bit. Nothing in the silage bunker. Must be they're just feeding these cows hay. which is a shame. We used to have a pretty good mix. We used to run. Boy, Bruce's old 730. He'd roll over in his grave if he seen it this way. It used to be his show tractor. We never used to run that thing. Well, I'm going to catch a look at these. Kind of get a head count and see how everything's running. I'll catch you guys here in a few minutes. Yeah, I thought I heard a truck pull up here. Just carried our last box inside. I'm going to have to take this trailer back. We actually rented it from a place, well, the shop right here in Elm Creek, so get that back a little later today. Supposed to pick up Sandy from the airport. Hey there. You must be Andy. I'm Red.
Hi, Red. Sandy has told me a lot about you. Are you all settled in?
Well, I've got just about everything off the truck here. Trailer. Still need to get my things unpacked. I just wanted to get out and check out the farm a little bit. Heard you pull up. Now, I haven't seen this place in probably a decade or so, and wow. Things have changed quite a bit.
For the better or for the worse?
Hard to say, really. Most of the tractors are the same, other than the 55 series. It's up in the shop. Everything just looks a little dirtier and a little more run down than I remember, I guess. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Well, I've been helping out on and off for a few years now. And I've seen a change in the way Bruce took care of his stuff. He wasn't doing very good. Health-wise, at least, towards the end. I think he just didn't have the energy to do everything he wanted. You know, for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I get it. That's too bad. Bruce used to take really good care of his tractors and implements. I helped build that shop up on the hill when I was just a boy. He loved tinkering and cleaning his stuff up there and keeping it in tip-top shape.
I heard that this farm, back in its day, was quite a place. Sandy told me that there used to be over 70 milking cows back then. And every field, from here to the other road, was tended to by this farm.
You mean them fields out front here?
Yeah, those ones. Sandy said they used to tend to haul them fields back in the day.
Well, we used to, yeah. Whose fields are they now?
Sandy still owns the land, but she leases most of them out to other farms. Most of them to Charlie, I think.
Charles Muntz? Yeah, I remember him from when I was a kid. Heard he's got quite the operation now. 400 plus head of Angus, I heard. That's a pretty big beef cow operation.
Yeah, that's him. He leases most of these fields now. I don't know which ones exactly. But I just help out feeding the cows for the most part. And the rest of that stuff was Bruce's deal.
Huh. Yeah, I'll have to talk that over with Sandy. I'm picking her up from the airport a little later, and yeah, we're just trying to figure things out here. You know, spring's around the corner, planting season's going to be here before we know it. And, hey, it was nice meeting you, Andy, and I look forward to working with you here.
Likewise, Red. I'll see you around.
So that was Andy. Looks like he's here to feed the cows. I don't know what he's mixing them exactly. All I see around here is hay. So back in the day, we used to have a few grass fields. I see a couple of them right here. One here, this little corner lot. One right next to the farm. And not sure what's down in this one here. But anyways, all these fields, all the way down to the backside of the animal dealer and all the way up to the top of the hill. We used to farm all that. Bruce and Sandy used to have a pretty good sized fermenting silo out here, but that was taken down quite a few years ago, I heard. But between that and this bunker here, it was more than enough to take care of, 70 plus cows. And Bruce used to sell silage on the side as well. I don't know. This farm definitely going to need some work, that's for sure. We got a little more hay in here. The old square baler. Sickle bar mower. I can't believe they still got that sickle bar mower. It honestly doesn't look too bad a shape. Yeah, I mean, things are packed in here. Get this shut up. I gotta get that trailer back to Clever Motors and get Sandy picked up from the airport. Probably going to be running out of daylight at that point, but who knows? Probably not going to get into too much field work until tomorrow. So, I don't know. I'll have a good long talk with Sandy later today and maybe see what we're going to do. Let's get this closed up and get it back. So this is Clever Motors up here on the left. Just going to drop this off and go talk to the girl at the counter and see, if we have any additional fees. We paid up front for this trailer, so shouldn't be an issue. They told me to pull it around back when I was done with it, so I'm just going to unhook it here. They sell a lot of used equipment here. They do carry some newer stuff, but yeah, they got some nice stuff, to be honest. Let's go in and settle things up here. Well, we're all set there. We've got another hour or so before I got to get Sandy picked up from the airport. Tell you what, even back in the day, a nice skid steer would have been nice on the farm. That old 710 was always pretty undersized. Sure doesn't look like it's in the best of shape, so I guess we'll just have to see. They sure got a lot of nice stuff here. That old forklift. Jubilee. Pretty neat. Well, let's get headed out of here and go get Sandy from the airport. Sure seems like this farm's going to need some equipment upgrades at some point. I mean, a lot of this stuff was 20, 30 years old back when I was working here the last time, and it's not getting any younger. It's definitely not getting any less used, so. But I don't really know the state of the financials right now. I'm going to have a long talk with Sandy. We'll get her from the airport. Hopefully her visit with her sister went well. She's been out of town for a couple of days. Probably see you guys in a little bit.